So, how to be a top 1% man? I'm gonna start with my experience. Early 2023, around somewhere around that time, I decided to level up in life. I decided to cut out all the bad habits and become the top 1% man. And I started researching. I started doing studies on how to become the top 1%. And in the process, I learned a lot. That was my peak. Uh, I don't want to use this word, but it was my prime. Let's just say it like that, because um, it was the time I was most disciplined, the time where I used to work out a lot. I used to follow a timetable. I used to sleep on time, wake up early, and basically do everything that was productive in my day. So in the process, I made a lot of effort, and I ended up reaping the fruits. So in this video, I'm going to tell you how to become the top 1% man, and how I made very much progress in a few months. Yeah. So before that, I used to be lazy, sleeping around, watching movies all the time, having no purpose. The first and most important thing to have is a purpose. Most of us do not have purposes. uh, if someone was to ask you, what do you envision yourself becoming, or what impact do you want to make in the world, what would you say? Most of us will start stammering, you know, people who do not have goals, and that is a very dangerous place to be as a man. That's why most of us are depressed. That's why most of us are weak. Yeah, making up excuses like dumb people. Yeah, so make a solid decision to change your life today. So, how to be a top 1% man? The first one is the type of conversations the top 1% people have. I know this doesn't make sense, but let me explain it. The top 1% men always, the top 1% men always talk about their goals with their peers or the people they hang around with. They make more effort to learn about their careers, their purpose, and they hang around high value men, not men who are lazy, partying, going to clubs like dumbass people, you know. Yeah, so it's important to have deep conversations with people who have made it, talk about life, achievements of people, yeah, and other things. And the second way to become a top 1% man is body language. The body language of people tells you a lot about their character. The top 1% people usually they open their bodies to the world. They don't close themselves like, praise. The top 1% people usually open their bodies, they relax, and they take more space in the world. When you see a person who is open, not a person who's like this, you know, we end up respecting the top 1% men because they take up space. They become like the predators, not the prey. Get me? Yeah. uh, the reason why most people do not open up their bodies is because they don't interact with people enough, and that is a dangerous thing. At one point in my life, I decided to, interact with at least one new person in a day, and I ended up making very much progress because you get to know people, you get to become confident around them. you know yeah, it's a good skill to have. Just go up to people, say hi, you know and things like that, and you will start living in, yeah. The third one, the top guys breathe. you know Most of us do not even breathe properly. We have breathing techniques. You should breathe like a king. As a man, you relax, you breathe from your diaphragm upwards. you know you know like a person who is a king. You know how a king breathes? Yeah, like that. So as you breathe, you open up yourself to the world. You tell the world you are confident, and that's how people get to respect you. Yeah. uh, that's how you follow a path from darkness to light. When you breathe, you're able to release all the tension you have. you know when you meet new people, just go ahead and breathe fast. Take a deep breath, and then you'll see how confident you'll get. uh, and the fourth one is time management. Most we don't talk about this a lot, but the top 1% people usually uh, they manage their time well. you know uh, they have schedules and timetables. They follow them strictly. I used to have a timetable which I used to follow, and failure to do that meant that I would actually do 100 push-ups, 100 pull-ups, and 100 squats. You get motivated by that. You follow a specific schedule. You prepare a schedule at night time. uh, you- they have like, and they don't work a lot. They have like 4 hours of working, deep work, not distracted work like most of us do. Most of us work 24 hours, but it's distracted time. So you find that you do not make any progress in the work you're doing. If you decide to do only 4 hours and deep work, where you are so focused, you're away from the phone, you'll find you'll make much more progress. And that's how the top 1% people do. And the fifth one is workout. I know this is controversial, but when you work out, you're able to become, you see yourself confident. You're able to interact, move, even if it's just for 1 hour a day. Just make some effort to do pull-ups, push-ups. You don't have to go to the gym. Just move, and you'll become very active in life. At least an hour of brutal workout. Yeah. So if you follow these 5 steps, you'll become the top 1% man. I'm saying this because I had experience, like I told you, and sometime in my life I used to fall down, not follow my schedule, and I forgot about this. But I did another research, and I'm going to start doing this. And as always, my friends, every action you take carves the man you become. Bye.